everybody, I'm Miss Lauren from Medina County District Library, and I'm so happy that you're joining me today for another story time. So I wanted to wish you a happy National Library Week. This week we are celebrating all of the things that make our library so great and so wonderful. And I wanted to share a couple of stories with you that celebrate stories and books and story times and all of the things that we all love about our public libraries. Before we get started, I want to see your fingers. Go ahead and wiggle them for me. Go ahead and wave your hands, and then move your arms up and down. And we're going to sing a song together. The more we get together, 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 the more we get together, the happier we'll be. 'Cause your friends are my friends and my friends are your friends. The more we get together, the happier we'll be. Nicely done, everybody. Give yourselves a hand. So the first story I'm excited to share with you today is called Just a Story. And this is by Jeff Mack. And I want to give special thanks to Holiday House Publishing for letting us share this story together today. So this is Just a Story. This is just a story about a boy who is almost captured by pirates. And then almost eaten by a lion. And then almost trampled by a herd of wild elephants. And then almost stomped on by a big baby dragon. And then almost squished by a belly flopping blue whale. And then almost carried away by an alien with a tractor beam and an Elvis wig flying a spaceship high above the clouds. And then, worst of all, almost kissed. But not quite. Actually, there was nothing to worry about. Know why? Because this is just a story. So what do you think? Can you imagine all of those wonderful things happening? Do you use your imagination when you read stories and get to visit some wonderful places? This is why I love this book. It celebrates all of the great things that a story can be. So the next book I'm excited to share with you is all about story time, just like what we're doing right now. Story time is one of our very favorite things to have happen at the library. But this is called Chicken Story Time. And this book is written by Sandy Asher, and we want to give very special thanks to Penguin Random House Publishing and Penguin Young Readers for letting us share this book together today. So this is Chicken Story Time. Story time at the library. One librarian, one story, children, and a chicken. The children like the chicken likes the children. Let's begin, says the librarian. Everyone loves story time. One week later, story time at the library. One librarian, one story, more children, more chickens. The children like the chickens like the children. Please be seated, says the librarian. Everyone loves story time. One week later, story time at the library. Looks like more chickens. One librarian, one story, many chickens. The children laugh, the chickens cluck. Settle down now, says the librarian. No one can hear her. Cluck, 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 cluck. Let's begin, she says. Please be seated, she says. Cluck, 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 cluck. Settle down now, she says. Children and chickens everywhere, but only one librarian. What are we to do? She says. She has an idea. Story time at the library. Lots of children, flocks of chickens. Shelves and shelves of stories. The children like the chickens. The chickens like the children. Everyone loves story time. Especially the librarian. The end. So what do you think? What do you think of all those chickens during story time? Be pretty interesting, wouldn't it? All right. So my third and final book that I'm going to share with you today is one of my favorites. It's called The Book Hog by Greg Pizzoli. And again, we want to thank Little Brown Publishing for letting us share this story together today. This is The Book Hog. The Book Hog loved books. And he had quite a few. He loved the way they smelled and the way the pages felt in his hooves. He especially liked the ones with pictures. He picked them up here and there, anywhere he could find them. But the Book Hog had a secret. Shh, a big secret. He didn't know how to read. He had never learned. He was surrounded by books, but the Book Hog couldn't read a single one. The Book Hog went to bed every night without a bedtime story. One morning, he went out looking for more books. He came to a long, low building and he smelled some books inside. Where do you think he is, that Book Hog? He snuck through the stacks, adding several books to his pile. But then a soft voice said, "Would you like to join us for story time?" It was Miss Olive, the librarian. "Pick out a book, and I'll read it with you." The Book Hog blinked, and then he swallowed. "You'll read a book with me?" "Of course," said Miss Olive. "As many as you'd like." This gave the Book Hog an idea. "Wait here," he said. What do you think he's going to do? He went home. And he came back with some books. Just a few. Miss Olive led story time, and the Book Hog listened closely. He heard many stories, some funny, some sad, and some kind of in between. Over time, and with practice, the Book Hog learned to read on his own. He grew to love books even more, not just for the way they looked and felt, but for the stories they told. And yes, the Book Hog still takes lots of books. But he always brings them back. And that's the end. Again, that was The Book Hog by Greg Pizzoli. So what did you think of all those books celebrating National Library Week? Did you enjoy them? I sure did. Before we close out story time, I want to do one more thing. Let's go ahead and wiggle those fingers. Wave those hands. Now, tickle the clouds. And tickle your toes. Then reach around and tickle your nose. Reach down low, really, really low, and reach up high, really, really high. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Story time's over. So wave goodbye. It was so nice being with you again today. Thank you for joining us for story time. And be sure to check out our YouTube page and our website for lots of other fun things and events that are coming up. And again, a very happy National Library Week to you all. We'll see you next time. Bye.